I saw fairness, I saw validness to feel how she's feeling. And everyone else saw marketing. Everyone else saw strategy and agenda. Not everyone has an agenda. Not everyone has a strategy. Not everyone is marketing. We're human. A lot of people are being human. And for those that aren't, you do eventually find out. That's really what's happened.
Hello there, young lady Ashley. How you doing today?
What are you saying? What are you saying? I can't hear you properly. Are you saying something?
I was saying, how are you doing today, young lady?
Oh, you want to go at me like that? I'm doing fabulous. Look at me. I'm spanking with my red moustache. It's a bit itchy on my nose, though.
Did you just say swanky? That's not a word a man uses. When you have a handlebar mustache, you gotta use manly words. Only men are allowed here in this podcast. It's a male podcast, all for male.
Fine. I'll drink my beer.
Which is a candle. Well, you may have a mustache, but I have a unibrow, and I consider that a lot more sexy.
Oh, it is sexy. I like your unibrow. You're really just making me want to be turned on right now.
Oh, guys. Actually, no, let me say it in character. Welcome, guys, to today's episode of the Daily Humans Podcast. I'm Nina.
Ashley.
And welcome on. Well, welcome by. Come on in. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna have a silly time. And this is a podcast for real men. Yeah.
We are real men. We are good looking men. You like us as men? We are beautiful men. Look at my long hair. Look at her long hair. We're just beautiful. My mustache is just my face is.
She just wiped her mustache, you guys. Why does it hurt you the longer you have the finger up to your nose? The longer it's there, the better it looks. I can't.
Did you just call my mustache cute? How dare you?
Oh, guys, we drew on these little mustaches. If you're watching, you'll see it. If not, if you're just listening in, we tried our best to draw a handlebar mustache. Mine is in black. Ashley's is in red, so it fits with her beautiful hair color.
I'm the snake that all of you people are afraid of to come to Australia to deal with.
But yeah, it kind of takes me back to, when was it? 2016, when we all did like the mustache on the finger picture when we were teens. It definitely takes me back, but that was fun. That was fun. Welcome on in, guys.
I can't get mine off. Mine's matted lipstick. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it off.
Just put some oil on it. Do you have olive oil?
Rub some dirt on it.
Rub some dirt on and be a man.
I am a man.
Oh yes, we love the accents over here.
We do.
We're real good with that.
We sure do. You know,
I'm from the country. You know,
so much. Yeah,
I'm from
what
the country.
You from?
I'm from Texas. What country you from?
I don't even know.
Oh,
I have no idea where I am. I was taken by the aliens.
You were taken by the aliens. It's time to show them what we do, how we do it in Texas.
Yeah, I tried. I really tried. But you know what I did? They went to get the probe out. And I went, oh no, don't do it.
Oh no. That's a man's worst nightmare right there.
Oh my gosh, yes. I came back down here and I thought to myself, I don't even think that my ass is intact anymore. Like they really broke. I
leave it out. It's fine. Oh gosh.
We had to edit out some of it, so if you can say the little blip that goes into the next part, which is this part, just know that we said some things that are not for YouTube. So
Yes, Ashley's got a
Here
mouth
it
of
is.
sailor.
I got some bad words coming out of my mouth, and I don't mean it. I'm innocent.
Oh.
I'm like a little cookie. Out of all things, that's what I come up with, a little cookie.
Yes. With a bow on it.
Thank you. That's so nice. At least with a bow, you know.
Yeah,
That's
we gotta
nice.
make a
Thank you.
special. We gotta make a special.
Thank you. Thank you, you
How-
Texan. You beautiful Texan.
Well, the funny thing is, my father was actually from Texas, from Austin, so I do have roots there. I am
You
part
do.
Texan. Yes, yes.
You are
That's
a
right. The
beautiful
accent's
Texan
so
girl.
good. Yes.
It is really good too.
Thank you.
It is really good too. Well,
It's the only one I can do. It's so funny because all the accents that I'm learning how to do or have learned how to do, I always do them in a male voice. And it's so different doing it in a feminine voice to the point where the same accent I can't do in a feminine. Let me try. Hello, Ashley. How you doing tonight? Bless your soul.
I'm good. Oh, thank you, love. Thank you. You definitely could do it in a woman's accent.
Yes, I
Female's
can.
accent. Of course you can. That's a real
I'm
pro
grateful.
right there. I'm glad you're
Come on
great.
in, darling. Just made
So
some
good.
cookies. We made some cookies and some pumpkin pie. Just come on in. We can sit down and have some coffee.
Oh, Shirley, dear, that better be some pumpkin pie because I love me some pumpkin pie. Oh, really? I don't know
Yes,
what it
sweetie.
tastes like, but I do.
Oh
Your
gosh.
home, I bet your home smells like cinnamon.
Oh yes. Cinnamon's the best type of spice there is. You know what I mean?
Ooh.
Mm-mm-mm.
And I bet
Nothing
your
like
home
this
has that
cinnamon.
sign. Has those
Yes.
signs, like the family is home signs. I bet you
Oh
have them
yes.
all around your home.
Yes. Live, laugh, love. That's my motto in life.
Oh, you're speaking my words. I'm really feeling. I'm feeling it. Oh man. What a soul you are, my friend.
Thank
I
you,
gotta get me
darling.
some of them too. I'm gonna plaster it on my forehead.
Thank you, darling.
Home is where family is.
Yeah, it sure is. Sure is.
Sod on hair.
Completely different language and culture.
And y'all say,
gosh.
oh.
Oh.
Just casually butchering Korean.
With a country accent, I love it. Oh, yeah, no, but we were just talking before we pressed record what we were gonna do for the intro of this episode, and it turned into something completely different for me. So this was great. Thank you, Ashley.
We're just like totally unhinged.
Yeah.
Totally unhinged.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Give us our ashwagandha. Some ashwagandha will help us right away. Don't know if that was a feminine or masculine.
I totally am loving what you're saying. LA all the way.
I love that. I love your Scottish. Oh,
I don't know what I am, to be honest. I kind of go from Geordie to Irish. I see I'm mixing a little bit. Sweetest of sweet home Alabama.
ding, 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 ding.
Where the skies are so blue.
Are those the lyrics?
That song comes up. Huh?
Are those the lyrics? I have no idea.
I feel so sorry for the singer of that song because every time on TikTok there's like a sibling. What do you call it? Like
Yeah.
oh my gosh, those videos coming up. Everyone says that apparently in Alabama that's what happens. So that song comes up, and I think to myself, the singer of that song, I feel so sorry for you because your song is used for incest. Whenever there's incest, your song is used.
Yeah. I think it's Kid Rock who did that song. He might have done a remake of it. I'm not sure. But it's definitely interesting that it has this as a theme song. I'm sure not everybody in Alabama is like that, but I guess I'll never find out because I'm too afraid to go there. I'm sorry, guys, but like just some of the stories I've heard, it's not gonna be on the list. I'll stay in LA.
Do I even want to know?
Oh, we'll talk about it off camera.
Done.
Oh, but yeah. How are you guys doing? Thank you guys for joining in on this week's episode.
I'm
Ashley.
She's Nina.
Yes.
Hey.
Hi, Ash. Nice to meet you. This is actually the first time we're meeting. So.
Yes. You have beautiful glasses. Where did you get them from?
I don't remember. It starts with an F.
That's okay. Thank you for chatting with me. I'm gonna go now.
Yes. Auf Wiedersehen.
Oh. I'm trying to think of some way to say goodbye to you in some other language, but I got nothing. So bye.
Thanks for joining, you guys. Until next week.
Bye, guys. Thank you for joining our podcast episode. Yeah, we picked the topic for this podcast today, but you know, it never goes as planned. We've both learned that, so here we are.
Here we are.
Here we are, jamming our way, and it's
making my way down path, walking fast, faces passing them homebound.
And I'm homebound. Making my way,
making my way through the
crowd. And I need you. And I miss you. And now I wonder if I could fall into
the sky.
Would you think time would pass me by? Is this copyright?
Yes, it is.
Really?
It is, of course. Oh.
We sang I'm Blue. It can't be copyright.
Oh, maybe it works. I have no idea.
And it's in our voice too. We're not, and
yeah,
we didn't sing the whole song, and we're not playing. No, it's not copyright. I rebuke.
I love how, I just have to interject this real quick. I love how certain singers sing certain songs because Michelle Branch, I think, is the singer of this one, if I'm not mistaken. And she has like the Now I Wonder parts. Now I wonder. I love that part.
Love it.
Water. And Ashley.
How are you?
Ashley, we both know this about each other. You are a massive rock fan, classic rock, right? Bon Jovi, all of that. And Aerosmith, I don't know if, what was it? I don't want to miss a thing. I don't want to miss a thing.
Yes. Oh, yes.
I can't remember that line. But hold on. Let me actually look that up because this is necessary for the podcast.
And I don't want to miss a thing. Because even when I close
my eyes. My eyes. You're saying it like that.
You, babe. And I don't
even when I close my eyes. Can't unhear it. Once you hear it, you can't unhear it. The way he says eyes is everything. Eyes.
Eyes. Oh, and there's a part in the song where he goes like, it's at the end. Do you remember it? It's a very like heavy metal kind of tune. Have you heard it?
Yeah.
Even when like he like screams it. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Oh yes.
Oh, you and I need to go to a rock concert.
Oh gosh, yes. There was one time I was in the car though, and I was driving, and I was kind of in this mode of just peace, right? And obviously, I don't touch my phone when I'm driving. So
Yeah.
it's going through the shuffle. And next minute, that song comes on. And I'm just like driving and I'm focused on driving. And then that part comes out. And I'm like, I forgot that he does that. I actually just almost lost myself for a second because it was so. I can have the music on a bit loud in the car when I'm driving.
Okay.
Especially because everything around me is so overwhelming. I'm still focused and I can definitely pay attention, but the music just brings me into like a I'm okay, I'm safe part, and I was in that mode, and then you have that, and the song's playing, and then you hear, and I'm like, oh my god.
Oh,
my
music
God.
is amazing. It's so funny. One time I was in the car, I was streaming my playlist or whatnot from Spotify, and I had like a mixed playlist, so I didn't know what was gonna come up. And all of a sudden I just heard this like loud scream because it was the intro of one of the songs, and my mom and I in the car nearly got a heart attack. Oh gosh.
That feeling.
Yeah. I get it.
There's so many songs that even though you've heard them so many times, if you're not paying attention, there's that part, one part. Especially if we listen to rock or a bit of heavy metal. Like there is I listen to Nightwish for heavy metal. The singer before though, not the new, she's not really new, but Natasha, I think her name was. I listened to the old style Nightwish, and there's a certain part in, if you've heard the song God Bless the Child, if any of you have heard that song, there's a certain part that used to freak me out though. And I wasn't like, I was kind of in the mode where I was listening to it and I was doing my thing. And then it came on and I was like, I no longer feel peace.
Have you ever listened to Evanescence?
Yes.
Open doors.
Those songs are a treasure.
Yeah.
An absolute treasure.
Absolutely.
I used to watch the music video a lot as when I was younger, and I'd be like, "Oh my gosh!" I just like the serenity. She's on the window ledge.
Yeah,
she's just like singing, and the wind.
She's holding onto a curtain or something.
Yes. I think she's in a white nightie as well, and she's just like holding on and singing, and I'm like, oh my gosh, the theatricalness of it, I like it. Yeah. Absolutely. And she still sings. I don't know if you've heard her concerts. She still sings absolutely beautifully. Her voice is a melody that is to hear, Love it.
Absolutely.
Live for it.
She's incredible.
We talked about she's incredible. Music is clearly our soiree, as you can hear it.
Yes.
It's our thing. We live for it. We love it. And it's interesting too, because over the years, the changes that have been made through music, I don't know if you probably noticed it yourself when you change going from, we did speak about it. We went from listening to some artists in a certain genre to completely different vibe. That fascinates me. Obviously you change, but it still fascinates me to this day how I was never a fan of Coldplay, and we said this in the last episode, and then all of a sudden their songs are like, they make my ears just open up and be like, oh my gosh, the melody, absorbing. Yes. It's fascinating.
And then you still have like artists that you listen to regardless that like stand the test of time. You know what I mean? So it's just, it's incredible. It's incredible, truly.
Please keep making your music for people like us.
Right? It's not okay. It's the same reaction I had when I heard Bon Jovi retired. I'm like, excuse me? Years after the fact, I think it was like 4 or 5 years later, I heard him like, he's what? You're what? No. One more concert and I have to be there, please.
My friend, we're going to have to create our own concert. When you come to Australia, we'll just set the lounge room up and we'll just...
What else are we going to do? Crazy.
We'll just jam to it with like the guitars.
We have
a guitar.
We can play Rock Band. We can play Rock Band. Do you remember that game?
Yes. Guitar Hero?
Yeah.
We still have
We're taking it back. We're taking it back.
I remember one time playing Guitar Hero with my brother, and I got so into it. I full went down on my knees, and I was like,
Oh yeah.
"Wham! Yes, thank you, ma'am." Oh, that was a rush. I can imagine how they feel on stage, and that's probably why they slam the guitars, because it's such a rush. You just got to slam that guitar on the ground at the end. Love it.
And crowd
The
surfing.
adrenaline.
Crowd surfing is everything. I
crowd
would have loved to have done
surfing.
that. Oh my gosh.
I'd be terrified.
Days.
Like, what if someone
Yes, that
drops?
too.
What if someone drops you? There's always going to be some person that wants to project or be mean. They're like, just, I'm not going to carry them.
Yeah.
I
think that's why they stopped it. I think that's why they stopped
Yeah.
it, because that and groping, you know.
Oh gosh.
Oh.
Not surprised.
Mm.
Not surprised. Yeah.
It's incredible though when you think about the process of becoming a musician and putting yourself out there and letting your music be heard by others. I think we talked about that in our one of the last episodes as well, where it's like, you know, come on out, we're ready to receive you. But being on that end of like putting yourself out there and then having the courage to be received by others is such an incredible thing. And yeah, it's amazing the stories and the history that you build when you're with a band or a group, or the movies that you make, whatever art it may be, or whatever it is that you're doing, you're really creating a legacy. And it's incredible. Even like social media and being a person online, you know, Ashley and I, we've said this in a previous episode as well. It's like we're leaving what we're doing for forever. You know, we hope that this can help people throughout all lifetimes. And you know, as long as the internet exists, which I'm sure it will, I guess, to a certain extent, you know, but it will be around forever. Our wisdom will be around forever. And that is such an incredible thing. We're creating legacy, Ashley. We're legendary. We say that as I'm wearing a Nirvana shirt and Ashley a Kiss shirt. It's meant to be.
Rock on.
Rock on, brother.
Out there. If someone tries to trivia me with questions about rock or heavy metal, I'm not going to be able to answer them. Okay. Because I guarantee there are some moments you'll ask me, name a song in Foreigner, and I'll forget. I love the song, but I just have my moments where I forget.
That's a song, I think, by Foreigner.
Show me. I want to feel what love is.
Oh.
I want you to show me. And then he goes, wow.
Yes.
You know, I'm just saying, but I can sing, but I don't want to put any effort into it.
Right.
Because I don't actually know how to do it properly. I sing through my throat, and apparently you're not meant to do that. So I don't really bother. I don't know if you've seen the music teacher on TikTok, but watching their videos, they say don't sing through your throat, or I think it's your chest or something. You just sing through your diaphragm.
Yes.
I think it is. And because I don't know how to do that, I don't want to hurt my vocals.
Yeah. You can actually lose your voice if you sing incorrectly. So definitely. I can sing as well, just letting you know. I've done many karaoke nights, but on here I give you the bare minimum.
That's an artist. An artist has done karaoke nights.
Yeah.
Signed, sealed, delivered.
I know the words without even looking at the screen.
Oh. Whoop, whoop. That's the police. Whoop, whoop. That entire thing just showcases that you need to be signed. So I'll sign you up to my record deal. My record deal company is called Nina's Wisdom.
Oh.
Yeah. Do you like it?
Yeah. Feels very original.
What can I say? I'm just a small town girl living in a lonely world. I took the midnight train, going anywhere. I just didn't stop believing.
Don't stop
I just held on to that feeling. Streetlights and people. Whoa, whoa.
Oh, you're amazing.
You're amazing. We're all amazing.
Thank you. Yes, we
Our
are all
editor
amazing.
Jay is gonna love this episode.
Oh, she is.
Just
She
so
is.
much-
But we can keep all of this in. It's fine.
You know what popped into my head though, and I have to say this just before I lose it.
Yeah.
You mentioned when you were talking about musicians and you were passing on your supportive wisdom to them. This side of my hair is just
Your hair is beautiful.
I'm that person. You'll see it in episodes a lot where I do touch my hair a lot because it's honestly
She's
just, I
flirting.
don't really actually like it in my face.
She's flirting with you guys. It's like the number
Ooh,
one thing
ooh.
girls do when they flirt. And they just touch your hair. It's like, oh my God, you're
I'm
so funny,
totally, like,
Ashley.
into all of you. I'm totally, I'm into all of you. So I really need you. Come in my life.
Oh.
Inbox me. So there is an Australian TikToker that I'm going to be talking about, and she recently opened up a skincare business. She posted a video on her personal TikTok explaining what was really coming up for her in this process, in this journey, how she was feeling. And the video was talking about another Australian TikToker who is popular just like her, and just the feelings that were coming up of that TikToker's skincare brand as well coming up, and hers, just those limiting beliefs. You know, the things that come up when you're putting something out there that you care about, you know? We know we have our own feelings and things that we put out there and what comes up with that. Anyway, the videos that were being duetted and stitched from that video, I was watching a few of them, and as I was scrolling through, they were just popping up on my For You page. And all I could think to myself was, everyone's ideology of it was warped. Everyone's ideology of it was warped into, one, no compassion or empathy, and two, a belief that everything is marketing. I feel like being on social media as excessively as we have been, it's made people start to see things in one image of no trust, no empathy, no compassion, thinking that everyone is out there for some kind of attention seeking agenda. And also because you've had other influencers or other people in certain fields that have come out and potentially been the opposite of what they thought they were, people have just gotten to a point where they start to see and view everyone and everything as the same thing. That's what I personally got from it, because I've seen it not just from her account, I've seen it on many different TikTok accounts, the projections in the comments. I do read the comments because I want to see how people are projecting. I feel like I learn also that way, to see how people comment and how they're reacting and how they're responding, where humanity's at, which says a lot by looking online, right? All I saw was someone who was just dealing with the same things that we deal with, but in a different storyline. You know, and I said that in the video that I posted a duet myself, and I basically said, when I first started advocating, I got into the comparison mode, and I sometimes still deal with that, the comparison. You can't help it, it just comes up. You start thinking about what you're doing wrong, what you're not doing that should be right, why you're not doing it like they are. Other people that are in the field, the same field as you, even different fields, but mostly in the same field as you just automatically have this comparison because of your own inner belief systems, your own limiting beliefs, your own insecurities and fears, right? It's something that comes up. And I said this in the video too. Also, when you care about something, she cares about her business. When you care about something, things arise. Especially when you care about something. Geez, the things that come up with my own advocacy journey, even this podcast, the things that have come up for me, the thoughts, they're always connected to survival mode. They're always connected to certain things that have gone a certain way in the past, right? This is where the expansion of awareness comes in, is expansion in that the TikToker that I'm talking about and her business, expand on how you would feel if you were in her position. It's the whole phrase of you don't know until you step into their shoes kind of thing. But you actually do know. We all know one way or another what it feels like to go through insecurities and limiting beliefs and fears, to care about something and have the fear of losing that come up. We all know what that's like. All I'm seeing on social media these days really is the lack, even in person as well, even out there when you go out and you do things, it's just a lack of self-awareness. It's a lack of awareness of other people's lives and realities and pathways. It's such a secluded little box that I think individuals have placed themselves in. And it's not a fault per se, because we've been taught this. You know, I was taught this way too. I grew up in boxed ideologies as well. But you have a choice to expand them. And with her situation, you know, the way people treated her for being honest, she was honest. And that's what I saw. I saw honesty. I saw someone who's just trying to cope with this new thing that she really cares about, like I keep saying. That's what I saw. I saw fairness. I saw validness to feel how she's feeling. And everyone else saw marketing. Everyone else saw strategy and agenda. Not everyone has an agenda. Not everyone has a strategy. Not everyone is marketing. We're human. A lot of people are being human. And for those that aren't, you do eventually find out, because that's really what's happened. And it's still kind of unveiling itself, like what's happening in Hollywood. Things do happen in time, but nonetheless, people should be shown empathy and compassion. And it's just, I don't know. I don't want to say that we've lost it, because I don't think we've lost it, but I just think we've become too comfortable in not trusting, and maybe comfortable in survival and comfortable in seeing the world as dark and evil, that we just project that continually out there, even for people that are optimistic, or people that are trying to open their own business or do their own things or be honest online about a loss. Like another quick example that I'll give is, I'm not going to say who they are, but a TikToker that's currently grieving, which there's many of them. I've seen so many videos of people that have lost loved ones. And there's a lot of support. I'm not going to lie, there's a lot. But then there's also people that try to control the narrative by saying you should be grieving like this. Who said you should be grieving in one pathway? Who told you that? Who told you that's the way to do things? Grief is many different pathways. Grief is many different connections. Grief flows in many different ways. Many different ways. Curling up in a ball or staying in bed all day, that's some people. I've definitely done that, but that's not everyone. Sometimes going out and doing things is what people need. You know, going on a holiday, some people need that too. It's really whatever they need, as long as it's healthy for them and safe for them and others as well. But that example as well, that really showed me that how humanity views grief. It's such a small ideology, especially to project on someone who then feels like they're not allowed to grieve this way. Because that's just a cycle we're continuing. We're then people are suppressing how she's grieving and making her feel like she can't grieve like this, or she can't do certain things, because people are saying, oh, you can't do that. You can't do that in your grief. Like that's a big no-no.
Right.
Who is anyone to tell someone how to grieve? But who is you to tell someone how to feel, essentially? Trying to control is one of humanity's biggest issues. Human beings want to control. And Nina and I have gone through this too. We're not an exception. We've gone through it too. We've had to really look at ourselves. And we still sometimes have those moments where we try to control our own pathways. That's a whole different story.
Yeah.
But human beings like to control. And this is a big example of that.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And what I thought of as well is like with the whole marketing aspect of it, it is so sad because, I feel like at the beginning of last year, we were all talking about how we need more authenticity. We need to feel like we're really, we get to know who you are. And that's why we don't like celebrities as much, because we're putting them on a pedestal. And yet we want somebody who we can relate to in our day-to-day lives. But then when somebody is actually being honest with how they're feeling, crying, being vulnerable, or just being open about something, doing something for themselves, if it doesn't suit a certain narrative or picture, you then condemn them for it. And it's like, if you want authenticity, you need to be open to receiving different aspects of what that looks like, not just your ideology of it. And mic drop. But yeah, it's unfortunate because how can you look at somebody crying and think, oh, that's marketing? Yes, people have played on other people's emotions and even their own to get something across, to sell things. But if that is your number one thing that you think of when you see something like that online, I would maybe to implore you guys to maybe take a step back and kind of reevaluate and kind of get away from, because I do think it is caused by capitalism and how much ads are everywhere nowadays, even on TikTok. And I feel like if we take a step away from that, maybe put the phone down, maybe get in touch with our emotions, meet more people, have more open, vulnerable conversations with each other and with ourselves. So when you see people online displaying certain emotions, certain things, certain aspects in emotion or characteristics, personality, whatever, you then are able to view it a little bit more unbiased without having the oversaturated aspect of commercialism in your face. And I think actually I've had this conversation with a friend of mine a couple days ago as well, where it's like the question that we were asking each other was, why do you think people cut off other people so quickly when you are being honest and vulnerable with them, with others? And we have come to the conclusion, or at least I did, I can only speak for myself, that I think a lot of it comes from the old adage of, if you can't be vulnerable and honest with your own emotions, how can you hold space for somebody else's? And I think a lot of that, the comments online are rooted in that, I can understand why somebody doesn't want to be in the same environment when they lost a partner or lost somebody in their life, why you would want to travel. I can see how some people can think that that's strange, sure, but like when you think about it, you live in a certain environment, you go to certain places, you have your usual hangout spots, and if you were there with that person, the only thing that that'll do is remind you of them even more and make your grief a lot harder. So of course, getting away, going away by whatever means makes a lot of sense. And so instead of judging it, let's meet it with love and compassion.
Yeah. Recognizing that in the first place is really just step one, where survival mode and protective mode and your mistrust, even mistrust for human beings, which we can validate. Definitely. We've spoken about it in episodes before, Nina and I's experience. We haven't even touched on a lot of the things that have unfolded in our lives, right? But we can definitely say in this moment that the distrust for human beings is and has been incredibly valid in so many ways, right? But the thing is knowing where to boundary it and also knowing where to heal it. Because essentially judging a space and seeing if it's safe or not is very different to going online and projecting on someone, acting like you know their story, you know their space, you know what they're talking about, you know what they've been through, when you don't. Doing it back to you, having it done back to you would be an absolute atrocity. Because that's the thing I've always said, is that people want to be heard, seen, and validated, but they don't know how to do it. People want to easily, I think it's an easy access for people to attack someone online and try to hold them to accountability. But I wonder if those people hold themselves to any kind of accountability in their own lives. Mm-hmm. It's just easy when it's other people. It's easy. But when it's yourself. But then again, to be the change that we need in humanity, it has to start with us as individuals, realizing that our pain can blindfold us to start seeing humanity as a whole as I said, mistrusting or unsafe. And I get this. And again, I validate it. I really do validate it. I truly understand what that feels like. If I, as an example, continue to see every space as unsafe, and I mean every single space, I wouldn't leave the house at all. And I've been in that position before. I have been in that position before, and it was the most isolating, secluded, depressive experience. It was another day of an explanation of what it was like. But just put it this way, how do you exist in human spaces when you're secluded in a space where you don't feel human, and that's just your continued cycle, and that's all you're seeing and hearing and thinking every single day? It's literally like those rooms that you see in movies where there's just walls and that's it. That's what it feels like, right? And if I stayed in that space and allowed myself to see the world as that exact same cycle, I wouldn't have left it, and I would have been in a worse position now. I would have been in a worse position now. I have every right to be weary and to really take notice of things. I definitely do. When I walk into a space, I assess it. Where's my safe space? Who might be a safe person? I definitely do that. But at the same time, I want to trust a lot more. I want to. And if people show me otherwise, I have learned, and I've wanted to learn, and I have the tools, and I still am, always will be, the tools to set boundaries and do what I need to do for me. That's the whole point. It's just navigating yourself through this world and still doing what you want to do, as well as having boundaries and being able to set that in place. Balance is key. And I know people think it's impossible to do, and that's a whole different story within itself. But the proof is those that have survived through a lot of things and are literally online telling you their own stories. They're the proof. We are the proof.
Yeah.
As I said, you don't know Nina and mine's story full, and you probably won't. You may not.
Yeah.
And there are definitely things that we won't discuss with anyone else, especially online. But we are the proof where we've come out from the experiences that felt like there was no exit. It was just walls all around. No doors, nothing. No windows, not even a peephole.
Yeah. It's unfortunate.
Expansion. Yeah.
It's unfortunate, really, how people just go ahead with judgment before they know anything, before they know a person, or before they even try to understand the situation that person could be feeling, could be in. And I can hear, like, in the back of my head, there probably are people that say, oh, well, I don't know what it's like to be them. I only see it from my perspective. I don't need to think about things so deeply. And it's like, yeah, okay, that's fine. But also know that will eventually be you then in that position, because if you are not able to be present for somebody else's emotions, it usually is because you cannot be present with yourself in your emotions, and that has drastic and devastating consequences in your life if you do that for a prolonged amount of time. And so this really is so much with the behavior that we see online. It has so much to do with emotional health, really truly emotional and mental health. Because a couple of videos ago as well on TikTok, a couple days ago on TikTok,
A couple videos
on TikTok, I saw a woman that was in her car, and I justify what she said. Everything is correct. However, she had said something along the lines of, I'm tired of seeing 20-something-year-olds, getting up, doing Pilates and eating green food and doing that stuff as if it's normal. And like, yeah, I get it. It's not everyday life. And I feel like sometimes it's a little bit too much online as well. And she had went on to say that she would rather see people in their mid 30s go to their regular jobs and see what that's like and kind of have that experience, so that she knows she's not alone in this. And I'm like, yeah, I get that. We definitely need to, I feel like, show a lot more of quote unquote a normal life rather than an aesthetic one. And what we think might look good, might attract views, things like that. I definitely see the validity in what she says, but also if you don't like it, you can just skip past it, because maybe for some person out there, that is something that's good for them to see in that moment. Maybe not all the time, there's a limit to things, of course, but it could, that one video that annoys you that you've seen 1,000 times in multiple different channels and different ways could be that one video that saves somebody's life that day, regardless of what that may be. And so just instead of going ahead with judgment or lack of, I don't know, hindsight, foresight, any of that, either one, definitely go ahead and just know that not everything is marketing, not everything is about making money, not everything is about trying to get something from someone, because that definitely comes from a deeper rooted place.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you're right. And you've frozen.
Yes, right after I said it too.
I know, right after you said it. No, you're exactly right. And even when you were talking about the aesthetic and I guess it was a massive thing at one point, and it still kind of is. But even that is a life that some people want to live. Just like how she wanted to see someone getting up and going to their job. We all have different pathways. There's no one way of living. Nina said it too. It's valid to show that side of life as well. There's another TikToker who recently she made a video about making cheese toasties for her toddlers, and she made it from scratch. And all I've seen is just people go absolutely ham. But in my head, I'm thinking, but isn't this what a lot of people are projecting in terms of health? To make everything from scratch? It's healthy? Isn't that what you want? I don't understand. So you see someone that's doing it and you backtrack and say, oh, a toddler doesn't want to wait 4 hours for a toasty, or why would you even do that? That's just so unrealistic. This is just an aesthetic, blah, blah, blah. The projections are so hypocritical. I feel like society doesn't know what it wants sometimes.
Yeah.
I really feel like people don't know what they want. And you know what? Kudos to her, because they looked bomb. Even she made cereal from scratch.
Yes, I know exactly who you're. Yeah.
You know who I'm talking about. Yeah, she made cereal from scratch. And it looked bomb. I want to try it. And people in the comments were just going ham. And it's like, but you, especially American cereals, I've seen TikToks about it nonstop. There was this other I think she's an American TikToker making breakfast or making food for her child. And everyone was going ham at her because of the food she was putting on the plate. And I'm like, firstly, why is it that we constantly respond in bullying to people? That's my first thing. But secondly, you're going ham on someone without even knowing their situation, for starters. And then the other thing too is that someone that is making something from scratch, you're going ham on them.
Yeah.
Where do we ever find the peace or the resolution in anything that is chaotic in humanity? In human life, the things that we actually despise and don't like to be a part of our human life, how do we find resolution if we're constantly choosing chaos? If we're constantly in chaotic mode and projecting that outwards? How do we find resolution in that? Truly. She makes things from scratch, that's fine. A mother that is doing what she can.
Right.
People also don't know. That's another thing too. People are unaware, just like other people are unaware, just like Nina and I are unaware about things. People are really unaware of things.
Yeah.
It's such a big topic within itself, but she doesn't, talking about the TikToker that made the cereal from scratch. There is nothing in her videos that would ever justify the projective reactions that are being projected onto her. Nothing justifies it. Even if you don't agree with her lifestyle, guess what? You're not living it. As long as she's not harming anyone, and well, again, that's my bit of assumption, but it doesn't seem like it. As long as everything's safe and that's all good, it's all good that she's making bread from scratch. It's all good that she's making cereal from scratch. She finds that will and want to do that, and that is absolutely fine. With all the projectiveness that's going on online, it's, as I said before, it's really just showcasing where we're at and where we still have work that needs to be done. Even like I'm saying all the time, oh my God, like I've been saying a lot, even the way people are choosing to respond, they're choosing bullying to respond. They stitch her videos and they make fun of her. They put her down for what she's doing, talking about the TikToker that makes things from scratch. Even the one that opened up her business. People's first choices is to react in harm and disdain and hatred, and this, it reminds me of like that behavior of like looking someone up and down and going, okay, settle down. It reminds me of that behavior, mean girl behavior. But then people want people to be happy. Like, it drives me crazy when you see this stuff and then you scroll, you see a video, everyone's talking about how everyone should live authentically to their life and how they want to live, and we say the same thing, but hypocrisy is right in front of my face. I'm seeing it. It's right in front, and I'm thinking, what do you want? You want people to suffer, but then you don't. Want people to be healthier, but then you don't. Find some resolution and some peace, please. Otherwise, there never will be anything. There never will be.
I agree. The creator that you're talking about, I love her. I think she's amazing. I love her videos. They're super calming. I love it. And the thing is, I'm sure if you're listening to this, you probably know who we're talking about as well. But she is part German. And so I kind of just felt a little bit called out when I saw the comments left on her page, because it's very German to want to make things by hand. I was raised that way. That doesn't really take into account that person or the situation. You know, you just spew hate or spew criticism without really getting to know where that person's from or what they want to do. And like you said, like, I personally look at that, I'm like, wow, that's like the life you want to live. Maybe not making Kellogg's or cereal from scratch, but you know, being able to do homemade stuff for your children, that's like top tier. Like, you don't need to feed them things with all kinds of chemicals inside. Like, that is the dream. But the thing that really got me, the thing that triggered me about this topic, is that people then stitched her videos and then talked and went to multiple different avenues with it. And we're just like, why is traditional living coming back? What is it being a traditional housewife? Why is that the thing women aspire to be? We should be strong. And it's like, why are you creating an entire narrative because a woman in her own home with her own children decided to cook for them and film it and post it online? And this creator has said in the past that cooking is her love language. She loves to do that. It makes her happy. So how can we look at that and judge it? I will never understand that. It's just a personal thing where I'm just like, how can you label this person has a certain lifestyle that a lot of people aren't liking or, you know, want to affiliate with, which is, you know, in their right. If you don't want to, that's fine. But at the same time, does that warrant somebody to be criticized and bullied online? No, it does not. Just because that person is different, has a different lifestyle, views, whatever, does not mean that you can just go in and attack them and take them apart and psychoanalyze every little thing that they do and say or don't do and don't say. You know, it's unfortunate. If you don't like it, keep scrolling. Keep scrolling. It's not, I don't understand why people are met with so much criticism online, you know, and I understand it because people hold criticism towards themselves, and they are, you know, we are all born into a world that's very critical, but also know that we can change that and we can make it better. And if you don't like something, you don't have to pay attention to it. You can just keep on going. It's no skin off your back, and that person gets to have their space and you get to have yours. It doesn't need to be a competition. It doesn't need to be a competition. Not everything needs to be a competition. Me or you. No, it's everybody. It's everybody.
Yep, exactly.
The World Wide Web.
No, I completely agree. I think human beings are just I really do think it's just such a massive showcasing, like I said, of survival mode. Really. Just fathering making something from scratch. But like you said too, navigating through this whole women are going backwards thing has to mean also women understanding that some women don't want what the new age has. Some women want to be, if that's the right way to say it, some women want to be at home with kids and cook and clean.
Yeah.
Some women do want that. We have to acknowledge it and validate it. And it's also not okay for them as well to come on and project that this is how women should be and this is how women should live and this is how it should be. On both parties, it's just not okay to try to control any kind of narratives for any human beings into believing that this is how it should be. It's an open field where some go that way, some go this way, some go that way. Everyone follows their own journey, finds their flow, chooses what they want to be an individualist in, and they go from there. Everyone comes online and shares their opinion. And yes, opinions are valid, but you've also got to boundary yourself in how you state them. And we're learning this as well. I'm learning this as well. And how you put them out there and what you project. It's valid to have emotion with that. But if you're coming out there and saying, like there was one TikTok, and I'm going to use it as an example, another TikToker, she put up what was it again? She put up a photo of her wedding dress. You might have seen this. And she said something like, she was insinuating that something about this is how modest, how women, oh my gosh.
Traditional.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. She was in a wedding dress and she basically was talking about modest women are the women. Well, I can't remember what it fully was though. But it was something against women that, wear certain clothing and aren't what she considers to be modest, right? You can have your preference, just like self-preferences, okay? You can have your preference, but it's the way you project it that matters. If you go online and say any woman that shows her shoulders is and then you put the labels out there as well as that, who are you trying to control? What are you trying to do? Why are you doing it?
And where is it coming from?
Where is it coming from? Thank you, my friend. Exactly. Where is it coming from? And most of the time, it is just for that person's self-belief, really. Those kind of things, especially when they're stated in a way of control, like women have to dress modest. That's your self-belief, and your self-belief, you feel like it is the be-all end-all and every woman needs to follow that. That's yours. It's purely just yours. It's not, and you wouldn't probably care if it was for my highest good or not. You wouldn't probably care. You just want your belief to be the hierarchy in that sense. Nah, you got to boundary that. You got to pull that back. Because no, have your self-preferences. Have your preferences. Have your preferences, but be respectful about it. Learn how to boundary yourself with it and how you project it. Be aware of that. Why? Because I guarantee you, and Nina said it too, these things come back to you. You will experience them yourself. None of this discriminates. You will have things that you love, that you like to do, things that you love to see, etc. And if someone came over and projected a belief system that tore that down, you would feel a certain way about it. But yet you're doing it to others. It's a self-evaluation thing, and it can be quite difficult with certain mindsets to see beyond. I can validate that truly. But like I said, and like Nina's saying too, the whole point of the advocates you see online and the conversations that are being had and what everyone wants a sense of peace. Who knows how that looks for them? But a sense of peace has to come with something. It's not just going to fly down from the air and say, here is your peace. No.
It must be created.
Us. Yes, it has to start with us. And the first thing is to really, if you're feeling anger by seeing someone's post, for an example. Like I'm going to say it again. If you're getting angry seeing her posts, she's just made cereal from scratch, and you're feeling this anger bubbling within you, you know what the best thing to do is? That is quite easy. It might feel like a resistance, but it's so much easier to just, I don't know, put the phone down for a second and ask yourself, even like, why am I getting angry about this? She's literally just made cereal from scratch. Why do I feel such resistance and disdain towards that? What is coming up within me? Because it's not about her. And that's another acknowledgement too. It's not about her, nothing she's done. It's you. So what's coming up within you? Why is it coming up within you? Really looking at you, assessing you, because that's where it starts. And then once you've assessed that, move forward. You won't even need to say anything. You won't even need to comment unless it's something generally supportive and nice. But I'm telling you, no one that is in that kind of space ever projects negatively on anyone, because they know that self-assessing, if something comes up, is so important. Like taking that moment to really stand back and assess yourself is so important. It's so needed. While we're trying to tell the world off for what it's doing, which is so valid. Oh gosh, it's so valid. It's needed to happen. We also need to do that to ourselves as well.
Absolutely. And the more we do it with ourselves, the easier it'll be a natural response to other people as well.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's funny, isn't it? How hypocritical people can be. It blows my mind.
Oh, honestly, I definitely hear you with that. It's not surprising personally to me anymore. The amount of times I'm aware of it and the amount of times I see it doesn't surprise me. They want people to lose weight, but they want people to do it at the expense of their health. Like there's so many hypocritical topics out there that are just, even just recently, just to say this too, another video came up where I think it was in Korea. Someone was asking them, what's the weight that you want to be and what's your height? And their height is 170. One of them was 170 something, and they wanted to be 55 kilos.
It's way too little.
And I'm thinking, is that for society or is that for your general health? Because it's a bit questionable if that is actually for your general health to be 55 kilos. And there are some people in the comments saying, I was incredibly malnourished. I was in such a bad place being that weight. It's just really, those are the other thing. That's the other side to it that's so hypocritical, is that human beings just are creating such unsafe environments for each other and then wondering why mental health is so bad. Wondering why the suicide rates are so bad. Well, it's all around you why it's so bad. It's all over social media. It's all on the news. It's in TV shows why it's so bad.
Yeah.
It's literally in front of our faces.
Definitely.
We just want to live. Just want to live. We just want to live peacefully, just want to post things and just interact nicely with each other. People want community, just to say this as well. I swear to you, Nina, people want, and you see it, you see it, people want that kind of community. They want that love and the appreciation to be heard, seen, and validated and supported, the whole shebang.
Yeah.
But it's how they step forward to others and then they wonder, why isn't this happening? It's how you're presenting yourself to yourself and society.
We need to be more like children.
Yeah.
I think I truly believe that, because when we were kids, we were able to be free and be ourselves. We had Johnny over here who ate worms, and then we had Tim over there who drew with only red crayon, but it was okay. We didn't judge them for it. We just kind of went on. We were like, it's not my thing, but I'm going to do what I need to do. And I feel like that's That's what we need to seriously consider bringing back, is the freedom of being a kid. And the reason I interjected earlier and was like, where is it coming from, is because Ashley has taught me this incredible way of thinking, where it's like sometimes when I get too hard on myself, she has said to me, is that your thought, or is that a thought that somebody else, is that something somebody else has said to you before? And I think that is something that I think everybody can keep in mind when it comes to these projections. Is that your personal belief, or is that just something you think and say because it's what you've been taught growing up by somebody else or by society? You know what I mean? So yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, exactly. Nina, 100%. Differentiating. I had to get the word for a second. Distancing, the whole shebang. What's yours and what's not actually yours? What's your belief and what's not? Creating a distance between the world and you, essentially, to assess you.
Yeah.
Starts with you, our friends. It starts with you. We had to learn that the hard way. Just like many did. That's why we're saying what we're saying now, because it doesn't have to be the hard way. It really doesn't. You know, it really doesn't. Life isn't one pathway or one thing, and just because Nina and I or have been through it doesn't mean the next person will, kind of thing. It's just it's linear, you know. You can go which way which. So if we can try to make it easier for someone else, then why not?
Yeah, absolutely.
100%. But that is going to be the ending sentence for this episode right now.
Thank you for joining us.
Yes,
and join us next time in the playground. You know, talking about being kids and having fun and playing. Playing is so important in life. Let's meet next time, next week, next Sunday, same time at the playground. Okay.
Yes, definitely. See you then.
I'll be on the monkey bars.
I'll be on the swing because I love
Yay! Nice.
Yes.
Thank you for joining in, guys. Have a great
Thank
day,
you.
great night, great evening, wherever you're listening from.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.